Hi there everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the cocktail videos over the last week, and these are going to continue, so if you do have any suggestions, any requests, please feel free to just drop them in the comments below or message me directly. Now, today we're going to do something a little bit differently. We're not going to talk about cocktails as such, we're going to talk about an entire category of spirits, and that is blended Scotch whisky. Now, most of you probably know a lot more about things like single malt, but blended Scotch whisky actually makes up a massive proportion of the sales of Scotch whisky and whisky in general internationally, accounting for around about 90% of all Scotch whisky sold in the world. Now, what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about what the difference between things like single malt, single grain and blended Scotch are, as well as talking about the art of blended Scotch, this idea of taking barrels from lots of different distilleries and blending them to create one unified flavour. In this case, we're going to focus on Duras, of course. So the first question is, what is blended Scotch? Now, blended Scotch, quite simply, is a combination of both grain and single malt distilleries mixed together to create a blended Scotch whisky. Now, there are 5 categories, and blended Scotch is just one. Now, the first 2 types of whisky are single malt and single grain. Now, I don't want to talk too much about single malt and single grain, as we're going to talk about the differences between them when we focus on single malt next week. But basically, the main takeaway is that they are produced at a singular distillery, and these normally have location names. So, for example, somewhere like Aberfeldy, somewhere like Royal Brackla or Craigellachie. Obviously, these extend to grains as well, where you've got North British and Strathclyde as well. Now, the next 2 styles of whisky are blended malt and blended grain. Now, blended malt you will have definitely seen if you are a whisky fan. Things like your Monkey Shoulder, for example, is one of the most famous blended malt. And what that means is it takes several single malts, so malted barley, single malt whisky from single distilleries, and they blend them together to create a blended malt. Now, these phrasings have changed a little bit over the years. We've seen phrases like pure malt and vatted malt being used with a little bit of confusion. And for that reason, we have thankfully cleared things up. So we've got blended malt, and in this case, Monkey Shoulder is the most famous, but there are others that we need to talk about. The one before talking about blended Scotch whisky is blended grain. Now, we don't see that much grain, and the reason for that is it's mostly used to create blended Scotch whisky. It's made in a slightly different style, but there are still 7 Scotch distilleries that produce grain whisky. By making 2 of these together, or more, we create a blended grain. So for a key example, this would be Hedonism by Compass Box, and if you get a chance to try, please do, it's delicious. And what that means is taking more than one type of grain whisky from the distillery and blending them together. Now, with both blended malt and blended grain, this can be the case of mixing 2 together, or mixing as many as you want together. And then when we talk about blended Scotch whisky, it's exactly the same. Blended Scotch whisky can be anywhere from a single grain and a single malt distillery blended together to every single malt and every single grain all bound together in one bottle. Now, obviously, if you did that, you would get a relatively inconsistent flavour, but what we see normally is up to around about 40 bottles all blended together to create perfect harmony and flavour. So, I don't want to talk too much about the production process in terms of fermentation and distillation, as we will look at that a little bit more in depth when I talk about our single malt whiskies next week. Instead, we're going to talk about blended whiskies and blending in itself. Now, as you can imagine, for any of you guys that cook, you can't just put 2 flavours together and assume they're going to work. Obviously, there are flavours that naturally pair together, things like coffee and chocolate, or chili and chocolate. All these flavours that we know naturally pair together. And that's the art of blending. It's taking flavours from lots of different styles of whisky and blending them together to create the perfect harmony. As I said, this can be up to 40, 50, 60 distilleries, so it's taking all those intricate little differences in flavour and blending them together to get the most delicious style of whisky. We produce 5 single malt whiskies ourselves. Now, these are evident across the range all the way up, being used in different proportions and in different blends. But we don't just stop there. We obviously have to buy in our grain whisky, as we don't produce any ourselves, and then we also buy in from other distilleries. Now, a lot of people would say, why don't you just use your own? And you obviously can, but for us it's more about creating the perfect flavour than just simply saying, we use all of our own whiskies. There are whisky flavours all over Scotland, and if you are to branch out all over the world, that you can't necessarily get at 2, 3, 4 or 5 distilleries. So this ability to reach from all over Scotland means we can get the biggest array of flavours. Now, this isn't the case of simply following a recipe. We can't take 1 litre of Campbell Bridge, 1 litre of Aberfeldy and 1 litre of Devon and put them together and say that is Duras White Label. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more complex than that. When it comes to blending, brands and especially Duras tend to blend for flavour as opposed to the recipe. You guys will know this from, again, cooking is probably one of the key examples, or even if you're big into cocktails. Just because a citrus sour is meant to be 2-1/2 or whatever you prefer, it completely depends on the sugar you're using. It completely depends on what type of citrus you're using. Is that citrus ripe? And that's exactly the same idea when it talks about blending. If you were to take 2 single malt barrels from Aberfeldy, for example, put them next to each other in the warehouse for exactly the same amount of time, and then you were to take them out, they're not necessarily going to bring the same flavours. And for that, because we can't just follow a recipe, we need our master blender. And in our case, it's the wonderful Stephanie blender. What she does is she takes hundreds and hundreds of barrels and hundreds of different samples of whiskey, nosing and tasting ever so often to get the right harmony of flavours to create Duras. It's not about creating this flavour or that flavour, it's about creating the flavour of Duras. Now this has been going on for years. Expressions like our white label has been going on for over 120 years. And what this means is that creating a harmonious flavour, not only over hundreds and hundreds of different bottles, but over 100 and so different years, is really a task for only the most amazing blenders. And having tried blending up at the distillery and in various other chances, I can promise you it's a lot harder than it looks. You can't go sweet, smoky, that'll be delicious, because there's just so many different variables. Wood is a natural substance, and for that it means you're going to get completely different flavours, completely different effects depending on how you look at it. Whereas once we have our wonderful blend that really helps to epitomise what we do at Duras, we don't just stop there. What we do is we take our whiskey and we put it back into a barrel, and this is what we call our double aging process. We do this with all of our blended Scotch whiskies, and what that means is we're taking this lovely already rounded flavour and just helping to just get away any of the harsh edges. Now we say double age for extra smoothness, and it's just to allow all those flavours to harmonise. If you imagine it like making a soup, you can't just throw in your potato, your carrot, your chicken, blend it together and boil it, and that's your soup. You have to allow it to sit, you have to allow all those flavours, even some of the spice that you might add, the salts and peppers, all those flavours to come together and really sing as one. And that means that you're not just getting a singular flavour, you're getting a much more rounded profile. And there we have it, our Duras ready bottle. Now, we don't just have Duras, what we have is a mixture there of grain whiskey, we have a mixture there of malt whiskey that is then put together and blended by the wonderful Stephanie McLeod and her team to create this Duras flavour. And the idea is that whether you buy this bottle with us here in Thailand, whether you buy it over in the Philippines, or whether you buy it at the Aberfeldy distillery, and whether you buy them a year apart or 18 months apart, you're going to get that consistent flavour that is Duras, so that it sings to you, so that when you buy a bottle you'll know you can buy that bottle again. And it's all about creating that consistency and that known flavour profile again. There we have it. Just a wee brief recap on blended Scotch whisky. A mixture of grain and malt whiskies blended together to create a brand flavour. Now there are hundreds of different brands, and I fully advise you to check some of them out, but before you do that, grab yourself a glass, some ice, some whiskey, and make yourself some delicious highballs. I hope you guys enjoy this sort of informative session. If you want to know anything in particular, please feel free to comment or drop me a message, and we will add it to our roster of talks coming up. Also, I fully recommend you check out some of my colleagues over in Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore and the Philippines, and the wider Bacardi team if you go over the world. Ciao for now, Flanch.